Thank you all for being with us today, and thank you for the Asfari Institute to allow me to share with you some of my experience in Mmkn and in how we could bridge or implement social justice through students. Let's begin with the year 2000, where we had our programs that were revised completely through the Ministry of Education. And at that time, the ministry took upon itself to train the teachers of the public school and of the private schools, definitely, on these new programs, where the students became not only a banking student, where he regurgitates all the material, but in fact, a student that is an active learner. Now, because of so many drawbacks, the training was not very well set, and the students, had to present, all over Lebanon, again, a brevet exam at grade 9, and at grade 12, another official exam, which is the baccalaureate, in order to end up their secondary school education. The problem was that the new programs were set, and we had to teach them. Now, in the public schools, they had a big problem. The big problem is that the teachers were not trained enough on that program, and they continued teaching, theoretically and based on memory, while in the private schools, since the private schools have to justify the tuition and the high tuition that they take for the students, they trained their teachers, they had good training, and we ended up teaching in the same books at grade 9 and grade 12, which are the official exams, in the same books, but, the difference was huge in the success at these official exams. Public schools had a range of 48 to 50%, while the private schools, 100%. Something is wrong. So there's no social justice here in education. And the problem was, and it still is, that we have this rate of 100% versus 50% in the public sector. Now, I come from the private sector. I've been a student at the Collège Protestant, at the beginning, at the American University of Beirut. Then I went into international college. But the problem was always with me, because I'm patriotic, I think of my country, I'm committed, etc. I thought, what is happening? How is it that I'm teaching grade 9 at this level, at the brevet, and my students are all passing, and the school just across the street, it's just across the street of International College, few meters away, which is a public school, that first year, all the students failed at the brevet. So something was wrong. And I was sure that the students were not students that were not clever enough, or were they were not maybe taught well or equipped well in order to be able, and their teachers also were not trained enough in order to give them that opportunity. So our first experience was to go into that school, that is the Ras Beirut school, in the year 2000, to knock on the door and ask, what happened? And what happened is that, as we said, the 17 students that they had at the brevet level failed that year, all of them. So I asked the director, can I help? How is it that I can help? I had to do papers with the Ministry of Education, etc., and take the approval. And the approval was given to me based on in the final report that I should give at the end of the year, saying, how did we make a change in that? So we had to bridge a gap between a private sector that is privileged and a public sector that is underprivileged, really underprivileged. So what we did after we took the approval, we went into that school again, and we recruited volunteers. So we worked on a two-approach. An approach of volunteering, taking people, or choosing or recruiting people to be able to help us, bridge that gap, and at the same time, so creating a cause for them, make them committed, make them good citizens, building them up into a good citizenship, and at the same time, teaching these underprivileged students, helping them, all right, from dropping out, because if you drop out of school at the level of the brevet, which is 9th grade, you cannot even take a baccalaureate, a vocational baccalaureate, all right? You cannot go and pursue anything unless you have this official exam, which is a key for you to pursue or to go, drop out and go maybe into delinquency. So imagine that every year, from the year 2000 up till now, 50% of these students at the level of grade 9 mainly, all right, they leave, drop out the school. What do they do? Where do they go? Nobody knows. All right? So this was a major problem. And since I was an educator, I always felt that I owe the public school as much as I owe the private school or my work. And this is how it all started. We recruited volunteers. How did we recruit them? We recruited them through engagement offices or centers, right, at universities, private universities, because the main thing is to take from the private sector, all right, the students that are privileged to go and look into and help, all right, and install that social justice with the other students that are underprivileged from the public sector. Now you tell me that the Ministry of Education, what is the Ministry of Education doing? The Ministry of Education having 2,300 public schools all over Lebanon, all right, and understaffed at the same time, cannot take it all. So it is a major task for us as NGOs and as citizens to take part of that responsibility and to try to be, like we say, a pebble in that big sea of education. So what we did is we recruit these volunteers through these offices, and we have what we call in Mmkn a written agreement with the universities that they will help us recruit. We are official at the level of the university. We're at the same time official with the Ministry of Education. And we started having 7 volunteers the first year, all right, through a faculty member, right, that was a friend to me, and that he addressed his class, his biology class, asking for, all right, students in order to help. We had 7 students, okay, who came to the school, to the public school, across the street from AUB at the same time, and taught these students in the afternoon reinforcement classes in physics, chemistry, biology, math, and the language of instruction, which is English or French, and all through the year, from the beginning, from October till May. So this is a real commitment, a serious commitment. And the reward for them was an immediate reward. They would see that the friendship between them and the students, because they are very much near in age, all right? They were young and they are fresh graduates. And the students themselves, the volunteers themselves, felt very, 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 let's say, satisfied with the program, because you're giving them a task that remunerates their own knowledge, all right? You put into practice your own knowledge. So the physics major will go and teach physics, the math major will teach math, and etc. We ended up that year in the success, 100% success. The 17 students that failed the first year, they all passed the second year. All right? And from there on, okay, from ear to mouth, the principal of the school started asking, all right, telling the other directors, school principals, when they would meet, go and ask Mmkn to come and help you, because they definitely did a good success story with us. And this is how we started. So we started 15 years ago with 7 students and 1 school. Now we are 15 schools all across Lebanon, because we have an agreement with LAU, all right, in LAU campus, Beirut campus, and Byblos campus, so you could scatter, all right, and help other schools outside Beirut. We are with the Balamand University, we are with Haikazian University, and the Lebanese University. So we're scattered, our schools are scattered from, let's say, the south of Lebanon till the north of Lebanon, and we're 15 schools now that are being reinforced or given reinforcement, and we give this reinforcement only in grade 9. Now we started this year something new, and the new thing was going backwards a little bit in order to answer the questions how we should deal with the schools, all right, or with the students that are not at the level of the university, but high school students. We started taking students from grade 8, Because the students in the public school, they have, in their classes, they are around 40 to 45 students. And the teacher doesn't have the time, all right, in order to finish the program, etc., to check on the homeworks. So most of them don't do their homeworks. They don't know what does it mean, a homework, and that we have to do them. So they ended up accumulating non-understanding, all right? But they finished the concept. They do tell you, we have finished the whole program, etc. But give them an application, give them something, they don't know how to solve it. So we went a little bit backwards, and now we're helping grade 8 students, all right, in their homework, managing their time, giving them, let's say, half an hour for math, half an hour for sciences, and then half an hour for the language, okay? And then they will have some history and geography to memorize at home, which is very easy for them. So they would leave at 4 o'clock from 10:30 to 4 every day. They finished everything. They know, they have understood, all right, the whole program, etc., etc. And their averages, all right, up till now, we can see that the students are improving. The average are improving from 8, which is a non-passing grade, definitely, to 11, between 10 and 11 at the middle of the year, and at the end of the year, most of them have 12 to 13 average. Now, not all of them are going to join because we don't have enough recruits, and the school cannot give us cannot take the responsibility of taking the whole student. So we take the ones that are motivated, definitely. We put them into small classes of 15, all right? And we have a tutor for every one of these 15 students, okay? And for every single subject matter. So they stay with us from Monday till Thursday and Saturday, because some of them, they have their weekends on Friday and Sunday. So Saturday they do have teaching. We take them and we teach them this reinforcement. Now we use this double way or double approach of taking volunteers and making them responsible citizens at the same time, all right, and bridging the gap between the public and the private school, and the public sector and the private sector, and at the same time creating a cause, all right, by volunteering, all right, creating a cause, and a reward for them. The reward is immediate. When they see these students, their grades are improving, so they become more and more motivated, more and more attached to them. They become friends. I remember one time I had to replace one of the teachers, a young lady who was sick, and she just called me and said, please, I cannot go, I have a food poisoning. I said, all right, and it so happened that she was a biology teacher, so I went there and I taught biology. As soon as I came inside the classroom, the students said, we don't want the old teacher, we want the young one. Right? Definitely, this is something that we have reached, that communication between the student and the teacher. They became really friends. And that friendship made the student improve because they could understand them. Now, what do we teach? All right, we can. 2 minutes, all right. What we teach? What we teach is in our own books. We had our own books, all right? Not the books of the government. These books are books that are that have critical thinking, definitely, all right, activities, hand-on activities. And through these hand-on activities, we know if the student have understood the concept or not, so we reteach. All right, and through this hand-on activity, the students are so happy because this is not the way that they are being taught in their own classroom. All right. So this is how they keep with us. They stay with us. They are motivated. They want to learn, and they do it in a very funny way. In the French section, let's say, the French language is taught through singing. We sing with them. All right, to give them the vocab, to make them give the accent, etc. We sing with them because we thought that singing and moving in the class and making some movements, etc. So it's not a real classroom as much as it is an active learning between the student and the volunteer. Thank you very much. I hope that, all right, we can disseminate this experience that is still limited to only 15 public schools compared to all right, 2,000 public schools all over Lebanon. But I'm sure that with the reviewing of or the revising of the new program now that is taking place, then the Ministry of Education is really into what we call more of the community service, all right, more into activities that make the student go out of their classroom and not only based on their memory. Thank you very much for sharing with me this.